Welcome, folks, one and all, to Let's Play, a game developed by Taurus Games and published by Acclaim Entertainment in 1996 for the Nintendo Game Boy. For folks, let us play Dragonheart, Fire and Steel, which is significantly different from the PC and console versions. This is the tale of a knight who slew a dragon and vanquished evil. This is also not the voice of this character here. The knight's name was Sir Bowen, and he was the sworn guardian of King Freyne's son, Enon. This introduction has a fair bit in common with the actual movie, but not all of it. Years ago, the young prince was mortally wounded whilst trying to save the life of the king during a battle with rebel villagers. I mean, he was completely a goner. Nobody thought he would pull through, and he wasn't going to. But plot happened. In order to save him, his mother, Queen Iceland, took the dying boy to a dragon named Draco, whereupon he was sacrificed to gain the dragon's favor. I mean, that's not actually what happened. It might have been, but it didn't. The dragon gave the prince half of his own heart and made him well again. I don't know much about dragons, but I'm not sure that would work like that. I mean, there might be some unintended side effects, or it just might not work. From that day, Enon became bewitched with evil. Maybe it's because he has half of a dragon's heart in him, or maybe it's a completely different reason. Who can say? They weren't asking the dragons. Sir Bowen vowed to hunt and kill all dragons, until he found the one that turned the young prince evil. You could just talk to them, Sir Bowen. You could, but I don't think you will you? Nope, really don't think you will. Only then could he rest. And that, in part, has a fair bit of similarity with the beginning of the movie, but there are some differences, and this game doesn't follow the movie that well for the most part, but it does so for the better, because there are a lot of things that this game does quite right. And it is very, very different from the other games that were released for the PC and various consoles at the time. There is only the option to turn the music on or off, and a password, and there is also New Game. We shall be using the New Game option here, and going to the first level, Dragon Trouble. Also, I hope you like this music, because this music is one of the few music tracks in the entire game. Also, you may notice that looking at the screen now, this looks a lot like Lands of Lore in many respects, and in a way this kind of is. The game is split into two different modes, Adventure Mode and Battle Mode. And in Adventure Mode, you're actually moving along a map in a grid-based style, being able to turn and look around much like you could in Lands of Lore and other adventure games of that time. There are some differences. The fact that I don't actually have a mouse on screen right now, and I have to bring it up using the select key. And the only thing it's really useful for is accessing the inventory, which at the moment is actually quite empty, although it doesn't mention that we have a sword and a shield, which we do, and also accessing a map. If we get a hold of one, you actually need to go and find maps. And once you've found a map, you can actually navigate using the map, as opposed to using this method of seeing here, this display. Over there to the south, you can see in the distance that there is in fact a dragon. That is one of 7 dragons that we are going to be fighting in this game. This game has 8 levels, and in 7 of them, the boss is a dragon. Being called Dragonheart, that's not particularly surprising. Now let us go and see what we need to do here, and immediately deviate from the movie plot, because this pretty much didn't happen in the movie. Let us go and have a look, shall we? You use the direction keys to navigate. There is a compass for north, south, east and west. There is also the A and B buttons, which don't do anything here, but in combat they will do something. The A button uses the basically makes you swing your sword, and the B button makes you hold up your shield. There is a center, a lower, and a higher, both attack and block. And you will be using those if you want to actually successfully survive some encounters. there are NPCs that walk around in the adventure mode map. You can walk into them to initiate conversation. On a similar note, they could walk into you and initiate conversation. Sometimes that's good, other times it's not. But let us talk to this peasant here. Let's see if he'll talk to us. Hey, what are you doing here? You see, a peasant. This is one of the other music tracks in the game, the one for dialogue. I think without fail, this is used for every single conversation. Now, Sir Bowen was not a particularly nice person in the actual movie, and we are given various dialogue choices at this point. Some of them are rude, some of them are not, and some of them you need to do to actually advance the plot. Let's not be entirely rude here. What's it to you? I wouldn't be so cheeky if I were you. And why not? Ha! With such a rusty old sword, it would be best not to make enemies. The first level of this game pretty much hammers home that Sir Bowen's sword is a rusty old thing that's not really going to do any good. And I believe in combat that pretty much means that it's not going to do that much damage. Let's start having a look around, shall we, and see who else is here. There is another NPC walking around. There are a few, actually. There's not one there is one down here. This is one we actually need to talk to, and I believe it's a recurring one. Let's see. It's a monk. Aha! The brave Sir Bowen graces us, or me rather, with his presence. I'm honoured, my lord. This monk has been following us for a while. And while he's currently called Monk, he's going to have a name pretty soon. Stop following me! Forgive me, but it's been a while since I've seen deeds like yours. I won't stop until all evil dragons are slain. Where's my pen? I want to write that down before I forget it. He is basically going to be following us everywhere, and he's called Gilbert, I believe. He doesn't have a name yet, but he will do pretty soon. Also, I have no idea what his voice actually was in the movie, and it doesn't really matter to me because he's now going to sound like that. Now, we need to actually look around a bit. There's nowhere we can go that way. There are a few places we can go, though. We can head this way, which is over to this village. But there's also somewhere else slightly to the south. There's another NPC we can talk to, and there is a house I believe we can go to. You can hold down the direction buttons to move a lot faster to different locations, and that's where we came from. Let's see what's over here. Well, this is a field, and I believe we're walking right through it. Perhaps it's his field. Let's find out. What have we here? A gallant knight trampling over my turnips. Pardon me, I didn't mean to spoil your crops. Ah, don't worry, they ain't mine anyway. I just plant 'em and dig 'em up. Tell me, friend, do any dragons trouble these parts? There's a great nasty brute that lives on the other side of the forest. He helps himself to my sheep every so often. I shall find the beast and slay it at once, if you say so. This farmer does not seem very confident that we're going to be able to do this. Well, we're going to have to prove them wrong, aren't we? And we're going to do that by killing the dragon. Killing a dragon in each of the levels signifies the end of it, and is pretty much in the final adventure area. Let's go into this. We can't actually go into that house. It's probably his house. Or maybe it's someone else's house. But let us now go to the actual village itself. Some of them have names, some of them don't. Let's go over there. There we go. We can enter it from any direction. This is Hexwood Village, and there are a lot of places we can go. There's a blacksmith's, there's the tavern, a small cottage, an old shack, and a large cottage, and a nice cottage. Let's talk to everyone, shall we? Some of these people are very important. Hello, stranger. What can I do for you? Greetings. How's the work going? It's all horseshoes these days. That's no work for a craftsman like me. Can you make a sword as perfect as mine? That sword won't go through hot butter. I'll sharpen it for you for 2 silver pennies. I'll keep that in mind. Good day. We have our first quest. Get 2 silver pennies. We're going to need those pennies. Let's go to a nice cottage here and say hello. Ah, you must be the Dragonslayer. I heard you were coming. I hear this village has regular trouble with a dragon. Yes, indeed. He usually comes for the sheep, but some people have disappeared as well. Do the people ever return? Only one has seen the dragon's cave and lived. His cottage is on the other side of the forest. Well, we're going to talk to him, I believe. I think we're most certainly going to be talking to him if we need some information on this, actual place that we're going to, the, dragon itself. Yes? What do you want? We could just say, sorry, wrong house, or, good day, milady. I'm told that this village has regular trouble with a dragon. Yes, it's true. My own dear husband went to his death trying to rid us of that terrible creature. Fear not, the beast will die by my hand this very day. Take care. I've seen that dragon do some terrible things. Well, it seems like this place certainly has a problem with dragons. Or rather just one. Let's go to the old shack. Good day. Might we talk a while? Leave me alone. Well, that guy was very rude. I'm sure if we knock again, he'll be far nicer. What? Nice day for talking, isn't it? Go away! Yep, this man is, not, interested in talking to us. But hey, you know what they say, folks. Third time's a charm. It's time someone taught you a lesson. Uh-oh. Folks, here is our first instance of combat. It's on a 2D plane, and this guy's armed with a stick. You can block like that, and you can attack like that. We don't actually need to hit him that many times for this combat to end. It's a pretty simple one. Oh, my nose! You should pay more respect next time. I am a Dragonslayer, after all. Yes, sir. I'm sure his nose will get better. By the way, there's no purpose to fighting that man. There are some combats that are completely optional in this game, and that was one of them. Who is it? What do you want? Says the old woman. Sir Bowen, Dragonslayer, at your service. I've no time for chatty, young man. I'm looking for a turnip to put in my soup. Goodbye. That is another sort of quest that we might be doing. Let's go to the tavern. There are a few people here. There is a way to leave the tavern. There is also some jolly peasants, a weary soldier, and a strange man. Let's talk to the peasants first. Well, look here! A big, brave knight! Sir Bowen, Dragonslayer, at your service. You appear to be slurring your words just there. Don't mind us! We're very drunk! Oh, fair enough. Have a drink on us, my lord. That's kind of you. This hot weather brings quite a thirst. There you go! That'll keep those dragons away! Thanks. I don't think it's going to keep those dragons away. We might be using that drink soon enough. It is in our inventory at the moment, but we're going to be using it in this very place. You see a weary soldier. I don't like dragon slayers. You just watch yourself. Maybe we could go and make friends with him, but we'll talk to this strange man first. What do you want? It's been a long day. Now this man, if we didn't have a drink in our hand, wouldn't even talk to us beyond this point. But we have a drink. Forgive me for disturbing you. Have a drink on me. Thanks, friend. Have a seat. What can I help you with? I'm seeking the old man on the other side of this forest. We could do that, or we could go... I'm trying to find a dragon. Now that, Now, oh wait, I hadn't actually done this option before. Now you leave that old dragon alone. I was actually completely failing to read that. Why do you say that? I thought everyone wants to be rid of him. Yes, but when do-gooders try to stick a sword in his belly, he tends to get angry. What happens when he gets angry? He goes on a rampage, murdering the locals and starting fires everywhere. It's terrible to behold. Well, for now, let's leave. We have a few things that we could do. We need 2 silver pennies, and we also actually need, we need a turnip. We know where we can source a turnip. We could maybe source a turnip from the person tending the farm fields of turnips. He might actually walk into us. What have we here? A gallant knight trampling over my turnips? And fine turnips they are too. May I have one? I don't normally give them away, but you look like a turnip-loving lad, so I'll give you my finest. Thank you, sir. I'll put this turnip to good use. That's what I like to hear. Goodbye. I don't know how we can tell if Sir Bowen is a, as he would put it, turnip-loving lad, but, I'll take a turnip. And in fact, is in our inventory right now. There is a brew and a turnip. I thought we actually would expend the brew, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like an unlimited pile of brew. Also, Gilbert here now has a purpose. Aha! The brave knight Sir Bowen graces me with his presence. I'm honoured, my lord. Greetings, friar. Can you lend me some money? I have no love for money. Use it well, Sir Bowen. Thanks. I'm going to now leave and not acknowledge you in the least. But you're going to follow me around anyway. In fact, you're going to end up being quite useful. But not just yet. There are a few things that we can do. First, we'll go hand over that turnip. Over here. What's all this? Who are you? My name is Bowen, and I've brought you a fresh, juicy turnip. Ooh, what a nice young man you are. Thank you so much. How can I reward you? What do the villagers think of King Enon? This is an important question. Don't talk to me about King Enon. He's a wild one, make no mistake. Yes? He puts whole villages to work in his mines. That doesn't sound like the doings of a very nice king. Thank you, kind lady. We basically gave a turnip over for some plot, but we're going to hand over the pennies for more than plot. Hello, stranger. Still using that rusty old sword? I'll give you 2 pennies if you sharpen it for me. It's a deal, and a pleasure. It's not often I get to work on real weapons. Thanks. Thanks indeed. That is now our weapon nice and sharp. Well met, knight. How's the sword? As sharp as ever. Farewell. So now we have a much sharper sword. Much sharper sword, rather. Not a sword. I think if Sir Bowen had a sword, we'd be in a bit of trouble. A bit of the Sean Connery there from Dragonheart coming through. Let's now go to the tavern and talk to the strange man. The strange man is actually our ticket over through the forest. Greetings, friend. Have a seat. I'm looking for a way through the forest. Come, I can show you the entrance, but I've never been through. Thanks, friend. Note how he's now our friend after we just given him 1 drink. Here is another area type. It's not so much an adventure type, it's more of a maze. In this maze, we still don't have a map. We don't have a map, but you move a lot faster through it. This area pretty much is a lot, is very narrow actually in the sort of way that you can go. There's nothing down here, it would seem. Well, there is something down here. We just sort of need to navigate our way through. We don't have a map at the moment, so we're just sort of stumbling around blindly. But we will eventually find our way through. I think that's the map. Is that the map? Yes, that's now the map. We can now actually use the map to navigate around. As you can see here, there is not really much that we can do this way, but there is something that we can do actually by going this way. Let's go. I think it's down here we might need to go. I don't know. Maybe this is the route? I think it is. This way leads out. And in fact, it leads out into a very small area, where the only thing that is here, I think, is a, there should be a house nearby, or a person. Is this a person that we're looking for? I think it might be. Hello! Ah, Dragonslayer, what can I do for you? I hear you know where the dragon is. Aye, that's true, but I don't want to send you to your death. Fear not, old man. I know what I'm doing. This sword was sharpened by a blacksmith for 2 silver pennies. That's what I thought, son, and I only just escaped with my life. Oh, well, he's not going to let us through right now. Let's talk to him again. Oh, it's the Dragonslayer again. You don't sound mad to me. I just play at being mad, see? It keeps people away. I hear you know where the dragon is. He probably doesn't want to actually send us over there, so we're going to have to be a bit forceful. Speak, or I'll lose my patience. Okay, okay, I'll show you the way to the caves, but don't say I didn't warn you. And now we're in the caves, where the dragon actually is. The dragon is somewhere in here, and we need to find it. And we don't have a map here. The map is only useful for one particular area. So we're going to have to see if we can find this dragon. We'll know when we found the dragon. Oh, we'll know. There's nothing here right now, but when we find it, we'll know it's there. Pretty unmistakable. There it is! One dragon! Now, the dragon is going to use its fire breath on us, and it basically has 3 different ways that it attacks. There is a long-range fireball attack, there is a short-range fireball attack, and then there's biting. We basically want to get close to the dragon and hit it with our sword. It only has a few hits compared to us that has a full health bar. So let's see if we can get closer. We can hold our shield up higher so that we can get a little closer. And basically see what we can do. Oh, it's actually moved its head lower there. We can actually get underneath it when it has its head higher. And successfully, there we go, there was some of the lower dragon breath there. And strike it with the sword. This one is pretty much an easier boss because you can pretty much easily defeat it, even if you're not trying that hard. You have a large amount of health, and it's pretty much something to basically get you used to the combat with the dragons. It is also the only place that you'll have these bosses with dragons, these stationary targets. So let's see if we can get an opening to get in. There we go, we'll just hit it here, and it's actually not going to be that difficult to defeat. The first one is very easy. And there is one dragon dead. And there is our password. And when we come back, folks, we shall return to Dragonheart, to level number 2, where hopefully we'll have another dragon to slay, and we may get some more information about what's going on with the actual plot. So, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. Who knows? Maybe the villagers are actually right about King Enon. Maybe he is just a horrible king. But surely that's just because he's being bewitched by the evil dragons, right? Right? Surely it's that simple. Surely. Or maybe not. Level 2. Lord Felton. Later.